Well, in the last video, we were going through and diagnosing what was wrong with the battery. I think I got it figured out. What is going on? I am Jack, and this is Log Cabin Firewood. Today, we got a little bit we're getting into. A little bit of white oak, a little bit of battery updates from the dump trailer, and we'll see what else we can get into. Let's go. So the battery itself was at about 40% when I pulled it out of the trailer. But I went through, I pulled this out, I cleaned this thing out. I also put some holes in here. Probably not the best idea, but there was a bunch of mud and a bunch of dirt in here. I cleaned this whole thing out. That way, for the future, you know, everything is just good in here. And we don't have any issues with dirt or anything corroding anything. I don't know why I keep putting hats back on my head. All they do is drip sweat, like non-stop. Where is my other washer? There you are. So hey guys, what's going on? I hope you all have been doing great. First, we're going to start off with all the firewood. I know I said after my live stream I was going to wait and do another live stream and finish stacking the remainder of this cord, but I now have 6 cord stacked up here and ready to go in the central boiler, Classic Edge 760. Now, we are not rushing winter, but I am excited to fire this thing up again and be married to it for a couple months. I do enjoy heating with wood. I like saving money in the wintertime. When I can get my electric bill down to $70 compared to the $480 I'm dealing with right now because it's 100 frickin' degrees, I'll take it. So we did figure out what was wrong with my battery. The battery might actually be dead. I mean, not dead, like it works right now, but it might have like a bad cell in it, or it's starting to do what it needs to do, or to die. I guess the date on this thing was 1/23. I don't think these deep cell batteries or deep cycle batteries die this quick, but I may have ruined it not keeping it fully charged. I know a couple people had mentioned in the comments, you know, these deep cycle batteries, if you don't keep them where they need to be, they do deteriorate pretty rapidly. So it might be on me that I messed this thing up. But I bought a charger from Harbor Freight and I put this thing on the reconditioned cycle and it went through its thing, did its stuff, and then it told me the thing was 100% charged. I let it sit here all day and it was reading, what, 13.8 volts or something like that. And I pulled it off the charger yesterday and I let it sit all day while I was at work, and I came home and it's still reading 13.8. So maybe it's good. We're gonna run it and check it out. But with it being 100 degrees, I really don't feel like doing much. I got home from work and ended up cutting the grass. I'm gonna run over to the woodyard real quick with the weed eater because I was there yesterday just to check on things and it's looking like a hayfield. So let's go over there and attack that first, and then we'll see if we can't start getting some wood split or at least something moved over to the Axis. And I do appreciate all the comments of the battery issues I was experiencing. There was a lot of great information in there, a lot of things for me to check out. Somebody had mentioned a lithium battery. And I'm sorry I didn't read your comment all the way through. You did mention in your comment that, you know, they run 90% and then they just die. And I mentioned that in my reply. I'm sorry, I was driving when I read that this morning and replied. I shouldn't be texting and driving, but oh well, I do it anyway. Breaking the law. A lot of great info in the comment section of my solar video. I'm probably going to return that solar charger. I don't think it's going to be useful for me. A lot of people mentioned, you know, it's just kind of for reconditioning, or not reconditioning, but, you know, trickle charging and keeping it charged. So I don't know if that's something I'm going to keep. I'll probably just return it and get my 30 bucks back and put it towards a fan, because man, I'm leaking, guys. It's hot out here. Well, as you can see, the wood yard has become a little overgrown. So we're gonna have to go through here and weed eat a little bit. At least, you know, clean up where we're about to work in the next couple days. Oh wow, look, there's a deer. You see her? I'll have to zoom in during editing. But she must have been laying down over here, and I startled her. And it's been super hot. That's probably what she was doing, was bedding down over here. But yeah, you can see this is just a mess over here. We need to weed eat this, that way you know, the bottom of this pile can breathe a little bit. At least get through here, get in between where I got my pine set up. A little bit of a, you know, mess. That's what happens when you don't come to your wood yard in like 3 weeks. It's been too hot to do anything. Like, I don't want to mess with this stuff. But I can do a little bit of weed eating real quick. Let's pump some jams and see if we can't do a little bit of a wood yard transformation. Well, this looks a lot better, guys. I can actually walk through here again. There's a bunch of cookies all over the place in here too. I need to go through and pick up and throw in the cookie bin, because I am going to be burning a bunch of cookies this year. I just got to get them seasoned enough to burn. And I think that's what I'll do first thing when I get over here tomorrow to split, is I'm going to attack the cookie pile first. That way it's done. And then I'm going to move my cookie tote. Well, that one's probably going to fill the one up. I'm going to move another tote over here close by so that we can actually start putting cookies where they belong. Well, we went through and got everything cleaned up over here as far as the grass goes. And now I can actually see where my wood is. And I'm glad I did this, because I got a phone call. I got to go pick up some wood here in a little bit. And today is tomorrow for you guys. But I went through and started getting some of this white oak already. This stuff here, great wood, but it's only about 12 inches tall. I know Ken's cuts, man, you're gonna say it's smoker wood, cooker wood. Man, I don't deal with that stuff. 10 inches, anything under 16 to me is boiler food. So that will go in a bin for a boiler. But we've got the tractor loaded up with a load of this already. We're gonna see if we can't knock out what is left of the white oak over here real quick and go get it stacked up before I have to go get this load of pine. Hey guys, it's 103 degrees with the heat index. I'm glad I'm in the shade, but as you can see, I got my long sleeves on, trying to avoid the sun, because I got a pretty gnarly sunburn. It's pretty bad. I was fried like a lobster. Wood time, white oak, trailer, we're doing it. there we go. That is, I guess, 3.5 buckets. And all that's left over here now is cookies. I said I was gonna get the cookies done first, but I wanted to make some room. I'm gonna take the tractor now and kind of push all this together because I got 3 loads of pine coming in, and I'll have to put 1, 2, 3 loads of pine there. That's all I got for you guys today. Take care of each other, and I'll catch you whenever I make another video. See ya.